Hello and welcome back to Killing Floor 2. So now that the Christmas 2018 event has dropped, I'm going to go over what's happened. So, first things first, all the seasonal challenges and all escort objectives on the Santa's Workshop map on hard or higher difficulty complete the weekly on Shopping Spree, which is this first map we will be going through. Slay 2,500 Zeds, kill 25 bosses, and defeat Krampus on Santa's Workshop on hard or higher. So, let's start this off, and I'll go over a bit more and go into detail. So, first, we have the community map, which is this, Shopping Spree. As you can tell, it's a mall. Then there are 4 new weapons. One is the the Christmas event reward, which is essentially Krampus's axe with a skin that makes it Halloween. Oh my god, I am months behind in my mind. Christmas themed, but it really just adds a candy cane stripe to the grip. Is like the main thing. There's that. There is 3 other weapons, which are the axe, the M32 grenade launcher, and then the Tommy gun. Grenade launcher is demo, which we will go over in the second half of this. The Tommy gun is a SWAT and commando perk weapon. I'm just gonna run it as SWAT because you see it a bit more naturally this way. If you run it as a commando, it works. It's a viable weapon. It's just there are better alternatives. Like it's a less damage L85. So it's already just a tier 1. Well, I think the first guns you can buy are counted as tier 2. But so it's not that high of a tier weapon. Alright. Got just a bloat. Let's grab as many of the medallions as we can find. Keep in mind, I try to be good at finding all of them, but there's a good chance I'm going to miss a few. I always do. And this map, they actually did a really good job at hiding them. To the point where I sometimes struggle with them. Oh, didn't notice that one before. See, already finding something new. There's one there. There's one here at the bar. Should be one on top of the machine. One on top of the machine. Then there's one somewhere in the tree. Okay, we'll throw it over here then. There. I actually don't know where that one is, I just know it's in the tree, so I just throw grenades. Okay, we'll loop back this way. Finish off that side, but first, one in here. I believe there's one up top on there, but I'm not 100% sure. One there. Was my assumption correct? Yes. Just gonna close that door. Buy me a second. Didn't even realize that one in the corner till now. Finding a lot of these. Did a run just maybe 2 minutes ago trying to find all of these, and I'm already finding more than I did then. Yeah, the new weapons are interesting. Oh, forgot the one in the sink before. The new weapons are interesting. This map I like. Kinda reminds me Killing Floor 1, there was a huge map that was a mall. And it was a custom map someone made. And I always liked finding servers that ran it. Granted, that was also when people would run, like, 60-man servers with just, like, 50 perk sets you could run, tons of custom guns. Oh wow, all those already here. Well, might as well grab the other ones. If we can shoot this one... That one's weird. Sometimes you can't shoot it. Same as this one.
I need ammo.
Just... Come on, get out. I need to shoot that one. You can shoot the one down there. It's just really weird. I think they might have placed it just below the collision for the actual, like, elevator or the wall, and so it acts a bit wonky. Which is fine, you know, it happens. Just a little annoying, because you're just, like, staring at two. Like, come on, why can't I hit you? There. Yeah. I like this map. The Santa's Workshop one, it's not bad. Lots of objectives to do. Then... Oh, they added the Baddest Santa, which I believe they had in Killing Floor 1, but this time the voice for it is Gary Busey. Which is pretty amusing, having Gary Busey. I didn't pick it up because it's $10. And as interested as I am in having Gary Busey be the voice for a character, they already have, you know, all the microtransactions in the game, so it just gets... It's turned me off throwing additional money at the game, unfortunately. Which, I mean, is really unfortunate because Killing Floor 1, I bought every community weapon pack, I bought a couple of the skin packs. It was only towards the end that I stopped buying as much stuff. Just trying to remember if there's another one over here. I don't think so. Regardless, if you've been following this, you should have... You should have enough of these already found. I've spotted most... Where'd you come from? No. Stay away. I don't know why the bloat despawned and became you. Like, man, leave.
Come see me. The pod's safely open. Nicely done.
Ooh, that's nice.
You're a little bloody.
Should be.
But you'll live.
Yep, that one. And for the most part, we're good. There might be one or two that I'll stumble upon later, but for the most part that's all of the medallions. Which I'll admit kinda sucks having to hunt medallions again. I got so used to, you know, hunt this giant skull or find this other thing that's big and obvious. Alright, so as you can see, the Tommy gun, lower range, lower rate of fire, but higher damage than the MP5. Lower ammo capacity, but bigger magazine. Keep in mind, even though this magazine, you know, 90 rounds seems huge, that's also with an 80% increased magazine size. That's the problem I had with the Commando class. I had built for magazine size because I use the FAL. And I could have just switched off, but I'm lazy, and if I had switched off that perk, then you wouldn't be getting what I would deem the realistic use of it.
Gotcha, freak.
And this gun has some nice parts about it. Semi or full auto, so you don't have to, if you're a commando, you don't have to deal with like burst weapons all the time. Really fast semi-auto, so you can spam fire against targets while maintaining good control. If you go full auto, it starts to get a little iffy. I don't full auto hip fire it, just because I know it's gonna go completely pear-shaped the second I do that. But beyond that, it's pretty solid. I do have a complaint about the sprint because of the camera shake. I've always hated how some weapons have this really arbitrary camera shake attached to it, because it feels weird. I can grab any other gun I want and be fine, but then when I run with like a Tommy gun, suddenly I'm getting jostled around a lot. And I get it's a very minor complaint, I even admit that, but it's something that, like, you see how it shakes, but then if I switch to the pistol, it's a lot more controlled. I can pull out, I think the Stoner has it, but beyond that, most other guns don't. So at least to me, it's kind of a jarring thing. We'll try to fight a few bigger guys to kind of show how this handles against bigger enemies. Against bosses, it's decent, but I won't say, you know, bust this out, this is your boss slayer. It's a lower tier weapon. Even upgraded full stop, it's not gonna be that. If you're a commando, grab the FAL, put the extra 1,500 bucks in it, and then if you build for recoil and magazine size like me, just flip the switch and just go full rock and roll on a guy and you'll drop him. Especially bosses. If you're looking for early game, this is pretty good. I dig the magazine increases, because it's good for low waves when you're just trying to clear trash. And if you have a team that everybody knows their role and sticks to it, like your demo sticks to clearing big targets, your commando or SWAT clears trash, you'll do pretty well. Because, like I said, the magazine size, 90 rounds, you can clear all the garbage a wave can send at you and still be good to go. Oh, word to the wise. If you're doing this map for the weekly, depending on the weekly, do not hide in the basement. That parking garage gets you killed. For some reason, my game said, oh, it's up, and decay, and I thought, oh, you know, that's easy, I can just chill wherever. It turned out to be Poundemonium, the game just never rolled over. And Poundemonium in the basement is horrifying.
You know me now, don't you?
Because it's just endless. Flesh pounds just smacking the hell out of you and you have nowhere to run. Up here is most likely your safest bet.
And that's just the first course.
It's wide open. You can always dart up one of the 3 different sets of stairs, might be 4, to get you out of here. Excluding stairs in stores and in the like parking garage kind of access stairs. But there's a lot of room. You can break line of sight for husks and whatnot. a medic can kind of hang out over here like I did, and you have full view of the area. You can dart damn near anyone. So it's a good spot, and it's harder to get cornered than up top or down below. Hiding in the stores is really risky. I did that
Get to the indicated pod for
the restaurant
resupply.
over
You're staying in one piece.
the
That's
restaurant
great.
earlier in the video where I shot in the sink for the medallion. My team hid in there and we got just overrun. Even trying to hold the door down, we just, like there's a back door, we couldn't hold it. We got
You earned the
overran
money.
and
Now spend it.
splintered and killed. Yeah, we'll just go one more round. We'll hit 5, and then we'll
All set
roll
on the
over to
scope.
demo.
Back to it, mes amis.
Or at least until we kill a Scrake.
Didn't like that, did you?
Unlike all my videos, keep in mind,
Cha-ching.
this is all on normal difficulty. So if you play on anything higher, your experience will vary. And keep in mind, like, level 20, so my damage, my perk setup, all that may be different from yours. So once again, experience may vary.
We've got a siren.
I just don't want someone getting mad, like,
Now, don't you?
oh, I got the game and my Tommy gun only has, you know, like a 50-round magazine, what's going on? It's not my doing.
Right, here comes cash on. Damn it, my ears!
Thought I got you.
And that's just the first course.
Yeah, as you can see, if you're gonna full auto it and hip fire, you might as well just not. It's so much more reliable to just
Takes round 1.
semi-hip fire than anything. At least semi-hip fire, you
Come
have
see me.
so
The
much
pod's
more
safely
control.
open. Nicely done. Taking down a Scrake comes naturally to you, no?
We'll go another round, just because I want to show a fight against a flesh pound with this.
Don't mind if I do.
Break time's over. Get back to
This
work.
way you get,
More
you know,
Zeds
the
inbound.
full spectrum.
Found ammo.
So I think that's
We've got a
important.
flash
Alright.
pound. And that's just the first course. He shoots, he kills.
Yeah, it's not the most reliable gun for bigger guys.
Something cloaked is sniffing around here.
It still works quite well,
I'll take it. I'll sort that.
but you have to keep in mind also, playing this way as SWAT, I'm built for reload speed, carrying more ammo, and then slowing, and then a little bit of body armor. As a SWAT, you don't get, you know, tons of damage boosters, which I think this gun is reliant on damage boosts, but in that same breath, it's really reliant on its magazine size as well. It's not meant to be an FAL, it's not meant to be a SCAR.
Fosty's on a rampage.
I'm personally still trying to figure out where it's meant to lie. Is it more supposed to be just a bullet hose? Is it more meant to
Got a
be
cloak, Zed. Careful.
just a multi-shot
Just
killer?
picking them off.
Is this built more to properly utilize SWAT's slowing capabilities,
Dead yet?
thanks to the
I'll sort
multiple shots? Or what's it meant to do?
that. Down they go.
That was the last one. Get to
I
the
think this
indicated
was
pod
built
for resupply.
more for SWAT than any other class.
You're know how to stay alive
Let's switch over to demo.
out there. A good instinct.
Sell all of you. And grab the M32 grenade launcher. Throwback from Killing Floor 1. Fill up everything since I'm here. I've been waiting for this to make a comeback. I enjoyed this launcher. It's essentially the, I think it's what, M79, the Thumper. It's that, just 6-shot. That's why it's $2,000, it's a tier 5.
People. Enemies on the
It
scope.
makes sense, because a tier 5...
Time's up.
If you could boost this thing's damage anymore, it would just be absurd.
Got some ammo
You
here.
don't have to do a full reload, since you can reload shot by shot.
Look alive, Jet's paying us a visit.
Might as well use the gun since I bought it.
Too easy.
It's just really good, honestly. The only thing I'm kind of iffy on is
Didn't
boss
like
killing,
that, did you?
but I feel like demo already has enough good boss killers that it doesn't really need like some definitive gun that's like, oh yeah, this is the gun. You know, you have the RPG, you have the Seeker 6, you have the Husk Cannon. I mean, like I said, this is essentially 6 M79s strapped together.
You know me now, don't you?
You can't really complain too much about it.
Flash pound! That'll shake the cobwebs loose.
Finish the last
2
ones
shots
off,
each.
so I can
Not
open the
too
trigger
bad.
pod for you.
I think it's 1 shot and then a close range
Happiness is
headshot to kill a Scrake. Oh, and I was thinking about this for a while. So, for people who don't know, there was an extra perk that got cut from the game, and that was, I think it was called the Urban Samurai,
Party time. Didn't like that.
and it essentially was going to be pseudo
Boom.
Berserker,
Come see me. The pod's safely open.
but they cut it,
Nicely done.
and I'm kind of like a little, you know,
I'm impressed
shitter
by your
shattered over it.
survival instinct out there.
Because I realized they could have actually made it really cool if they made it oriented around poison and made poison an actually
Make a
useful
difference.
status effect. Considering I think it does like 1 damage per second right now and does like toxic. I call it toxic shock, where they just start flailing around. If they made it more useful, gave the class like shuriken and a smoke bomb that would disorient enemies and make them attack the smoke. And you could build for like dealing poison damage in your smoke grenades. And you could have melee weapons get poisoned and you would use a mixture of like SMGs and melee. You would have an interesting class. And it would just be really fun. Like, I would mainline that. Yeah, you don't get the stupidly high sustain of a Berserker, but you would be getting the crowd control from using poison. You would have the bonus of having, you know, grenades that actually are useful outside of disabling certain abilities, and would be a good pseudo CC. You would be a healthy mix of melee and ranged, which no class is. Like, there's no other class that can pull off melee besides Berserker. You can kinda do it if you play Combat Medic, and you just knife everything, but your damage is terrible and your range is terrible.
Careful.
It's just one of those things you do if you're really bored.
We've got a black part. That's gonna make a mess.
You could even make like shuriken something you can pick back up. It's just they're low damage.
Probably got a cloak Zed here.
Nearly cleared this batch
There's
out. Nice work.
possibilities for such a
we can
class.
reopen the trading pods.
It could be, if you want to go real wild, you could make it more of a, I'm trying to think of how to describe it, like a status effect
Cloak
class,
Zeds, careful.
That's the last one. Get to the
Where,
indicated pod
you know,
for resupply.
you can build for dealing poison damage
That
or fire,
fleshmouth
or
didn't
you
know what
can
hit it just now.
rig up some
Very
form of
nice work.
cryo thing. You could even make that a separate class unto itself, more of an elementalist build.
Glad you made
There's
it
just a
back.
lot you could
Don't
do.
bleed on anything.
I kind of wish Tripwire would go back and kind of run over everything again and reevaluate it, because it has a
Maintain the
ton of
area's
potential.
security.
I just feel like they kind of ditched that idea a little too soon. And I think that would bring people back to playing the game. Because who doesn't
Right, here
want
comes
to,
gas on
you know,
legs.
have a new class come out, give people more to do, more to play as, more team comp diversity.
That'll shake some
I think
cobwebs
it'd be
loose.
great.
Okay,
Speaking
yeah.
of bringing
I'll
people
sort
back,
that.
I think they're really missing an opportunity by making like these events limited to that year. Like, next year, I won't be able to get
A decent beginning.
the
Let's call that
axe,
your warm-up.
the skin for it. I'm not able to get the
Please,
uh,
sir, can I do another?
Christmas pajamas I have on right now. Next year, I won't be able to get the skin or the MKB for Halloween. And I think that's a wasted opportunity. Because, think about it, let's say you have an event for... Let's say 3 weeks. You have this event for 3 weeks. Please leave me alone.
Shit.
And in that 3 weeks, you got people like me who grind out the entire event week 1. It doesn't matter how much BS you make me do, even if it's kill 25 bosses. I'll sit down for 8 hours and just grind. Because that's what I do. After that, I don't really have incentive.
I'll sort that.
And honestly, I'd like to transition to PC game. Get a good PC, play this.
Siren.
But what keeps me from buying this game again
Area
is I don't want
remains
to
unbreached.
lose out on all my progress.
Get
I don't care about my
yourself
perk
fixed up.
levels. I don't care about my dash fall. I'll get those whenever. My concern is the weapons that are not available anymore. You know, I like my guns. Even though I never touch the MKB, even though I probably will use the axe sometimes for, you know, a good laugh, I would still like to have them. So why not make it so every
Pod
year
closed.
you just
Make a
have,
difference.
you know, the new seasonal stuff, and then you bring back all your old ones, so people who are new to the game can go, oh wow, I have a ton I can do. Like the Dar skins. They haven't done much with Dar past that. So why wouldn't you bring that back, you know, next spring,
Got your attention, eh?
so players can do that? It brings people to old maps that might not be getting a lot of love anymore. And it just generally keeps your population playing. You could argue, oh, it devalues these items, but in the end, you can't sell them. They're just for your account.
Dented down numbers, but there are plenty
And
left.
in some cases, like, I remember the Dwarf's axe in Killing Floor 1. That was a very valuable weapon because it had knockback. If you were a good berserker, you could just run up and slap the hell out of people and keep tossing them around.
Come on.
You could beat these guys like they owe you money. But
Here they come, party
if you
time.
didn't have that... That was a cross-promotional thing, but it's still something that should have come back. If anything, I would have made it cross-promotional initially, then after, 6 months, 8 months,
I'm caught!
I would have created some form of challenge mode to get it.
Nasty looking strike, folks.
Because I think challenge modes are something people are always down for.
And the Bostonator takes.
Oh, complete these, challenges, you get this gun. Okay. People are down. Some people will grind it out immediately, some people will do it later, some people won't do it at all. But it's better to give people options than to not. But that's just my 2 cents on it.
You know me now, don't
No,
you?
I don't think there's a single soul who plays video games who's complained. Actually, there are people who've done it, who've complained I have too many options. Those are usually journalists.
And the Bostonator
We
takes.
have a big battle coming up. This equipment is an investment. You're staying in one piece. That's
Yeah, the
great.
M7... You're not the M79. The M32, as you can see, is pretty solid. And it's got a big enough ammo capacity that you can just use it an entire round, 46 shots. Granted, this is, like I've said, solo, normal difficulty, level 22, built for increased damage, direct hit, avoiding sirens, bull, and then knockdown, stumble, blah blah blah. But, I mean, if you really wanted to with this, if you wanted to drop that increased hit you could carry even more, I would not use Shock Trooper. CC may be nice, but I'd rather just kill stuff outright. Area effect with decreased damage is just... That's such a bad decision compared to Sonic resistant rounds. Then of course I really don't care too much about the Z-time ones. As neat as they
All
are,
Zeds on the scope.
the
Back to
only
it, mes amis.
perks that I think the Z-time abilities are valuable are Berserker and Metal. Oh, that's another one. I think it's radiation damage.
Probably got a clerk
That's
for
another
you.
damage category that needs a lot of love.
Bossy got your attention, eh?
Let's see. Gotta bust you down a little bit. Dropped.
Kaboom!
But that is the shopping spree map. Make sure to check out the next episode where I go over the next map, which is Santa's Workshop. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. If you are new, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.